There wasn't any good ball coming his way, and it wasn't good delivery, but they've moved him into the middle at the start of this quarter.
Nathan Buckley there at the end, spending a lot of time with Heath Shaw, who's on the interchange bench, has only just, in fact, he'll be making his way up to the coach's box now. He really had 3 or 4 minutes. Quite, here he is, getting in back into the coach's box, but really spending some time with Heath Shaw.
What do you think that might have been about if you were a guessing man? Is it something to do with
structurally, absolutely. I think it'd be the way that he asked him to play, whether or not he was getting the right spots. You know, he's so attacking with his run, Heath Shaw. I think he probably was going outside of the instructions that he had before the start of the game.
So we'll certainly monitor Dale Thomas. In the meantime, this game goes on, and Collingwood by 11, kicking to the right of screen in this second quarter, which is against the elements here at the moment. Free kick Sydney here at halfback, Richards. So Teddy Richards has been dynamic this year for Sydney. One of the reasons why they sit aloft on top of the ladder at the moment. Quick kick out of the pack there by Parker. Now Maxwell.
The other match-up early in this quarter was Jared Wellingham was on Jared McVeigh. McVeigh's the player they need to get going. The Swans only had the 2 handballs in that first quarter.
Seedsman did well against Goods then. He was a little lucky because he didn't take the ball cleanly, and he just tried with the one claw, and now Goods, magnificent pickup, but all over him with the tackle was Maxwell. Great support from the skipper there. Wellingham's got an outside runner in for Solo. Reece Shaw able to cut that off. Little handball in there by Johnson. McVeigh now. Nice ball. Roberts-Thompson.
Yeah, he's the man, McVeigh. His last 5 weeks been outstanding for the Swans. Such a consistent player over the years, but hasn't been able to get into it early tonight.
Haven't been inside 50 other than this occasion for about 15 minutes, Sydney. Now, Harry O'Brien, he was involved in that controversy last weekend with Milne, and Wellingham did well over the top.
You know what Collingwood are doing really well, and that's forcing Sydney at the moment just to kick long to a contest down the line. They're normally great at hitting the lead up and getting free, but put a lot of work in. They aren't able to go back through the corridor because Collingwood have got those options covered, as we see Daisy Thomas on the bike, just trying to get some blood going through that cork thigh.
Have a look at the way Collingwood have spread the defenders here and give themselves any one of one-on-ones. Fasolo couldn't break the Jetta tackle there. It was a really, really good one. Kick comes back in the Reed direction. Nudged under the ball by Parker. Harry O'Brien gets around Parker. Little chiseler. Found Fasolo. O'Brien again, this time gets around O'Keefe. Goes with his non-preferred side without great direction. Shaw, did he pay the mark? Umpire said no. Richards forced a handball very promptly to Johnson, and out of jail Sydney momentarily.
Well, that's the other issue they've got at the moment, Sydney, is that they just haven't got an ability to get through centre half forward. Goods is trying to play that role forward, but at the moment he looks really out of sorts. Ben Reid on top. He's just had the one possession coming up for his second now.
Real one-on-one game of chess going on here at the moment. This is better, and Dennis Lane has taken the mark well within range.
Much better way of doing it from Sydney there. They lower their eyes, use Goods up, and as we said earlier, play on straight away from that position, and you can usually find your forwards in one-on-one situations. Much better way to attack against the Collingwood defence.
So Dennis Lane will line up, and I see Jetta's come off with an arm problem, right arm problem, immediately has gone to the doctor as well. So that's not great news for Sydney. Dennis Lane from 30 metres out, basically directly in front. Should convert it and does. So Sydney get the first goal here in the second quarter.
Yeah, that is a much better build-up for Sydney, having a target at centre forward and then getting through and then opening the space out behind. That's the role that they want Goods to play, and they need him just to get hold of the footy a little bit more. They've been very good, the Collingwood defence across half-back. They've blocked those options out. Just got an example then of when it works for Sydney, they can be exposed, the Magpie defence. So here's the build-up. Adam Goods for the Swans in that lead-up option. And, geez, that makes a difference when they're able to get a clear target through half-forward. As Jetta gets his arm looked at.
Doc Larkins, what do we know about that?
Yeah, right wrist, just sore over the bone on the outside of the wrist, Brian. They're just strapping him up. They'll worry about it later. He should get back there.
Dennis Lane kicks the first goal of the second quarter. By the way, Richo thought that Dennis, that was actually his name, Dennis Lane. For about 12 months, he thought it was Dennis Lane. It's Trent Dennis Lane. Richo, is that right? You were a bit uncertain.
Oh, everyone was going Dennis Lane. I just thought that was his name, Dennis Lane. But then I realised there was a Trent in front of it. It's a good name, isn't it?
The hyphen.
Trent Dennis Lane.
So a rather benign opening to this game. I mean, it's tough and all of that sort of thing, and it's two good teams, but there's not much happening. It's a very stagnant game of footy here at the moment.
I think the two tactics are really coming into play, and that Sydney had it shut down in the first 10 minutes of the first quarter. He thought this is right on their terms. As we look at Jetta's arm getting caught underneath there, and that's why he's got some issues at the moment. And then the Magpies were able to blow it away with their outside run. And now I reckon the arm wrestle's back on. Sydney have tried to shut it down again.
Great handball by Pendlebury onto Beams, down towards Tarrant. Beautiful knock away there on that occasion by Alex Johnson. Sinclair went and got it. Little left foot kick around the corner. Too much on it for Thomas, who tried to duck back under it. Good to see him out there.
Well, I reckon both teams have done well at shutting down the opposition's strength. Sydney love to win the ball back at half-back and then rebound from there. Pies have shut that down, and Collingwood, on the other hand, they love to play on through the middle and through the back end and come wider through the wings, and they've been able to shut that down also.
Looks like Thomas has gone on to try and give them something as a permanent forward now.
Yeah, not a bad option. I mean, to sub him out
pretty early,
so early in the game would just be, you know, a massive call. And if you can get him there, capable of
even get a quarter out of him.
He can kick a couple of goals as a forward. He's so talented.
Milcheski through the middle and misdirected kick, unusual for him. Normally very efficient by foot. Maxwell loves to kick it long. Here's Cloak, one-on-one. Shaw in front. Didn't do his best work on that occasion as the ball slipped through. Now he has a crack at ground level.
Yeah, the half-back line, you saw Maxwell uncontested. Sam Reid, the big injury out for the Sydney Swans. They are having some real issues at half-forward. Mike Pike, Lewis Roberts-Thompson are playing that role at the moment, and Reid, Nath Brown and Nick Maxwell are well on top.
Shaw, dangerous centering ball here. Teddy Richards under all sorts of pressure, and he's won himself a free against Cloak. Good call by the umpire there. Richard plays on to Milcheski.
Not much to go to there in that overhead camera view. Collingwood had pressed up really well, and they're doing that well tonight.
Parker somehow out of trouble. Really quick handball by Jack to McVeigh. Now O'Keefe. Now a genuine one-on-one. Reid can't keep his feet. Mumford did. Goods can go all the way with a handball over the top to Roberts-Thompson. He'll run in and kick his second goal. And Sydney are in front.
Yeah, that's the way to break it down, is that run and carry. It was a great kick from O'Keefe, who got the footy out the back, and contest from Roberts-Thompson was good, and it was able to open it up, and Adam Goods finally finds a bit of space.
It's a good pick-up by the Mummy for a ruckman at ground level. Did his work and got the handball off to Goodsy. I thought he was going to have a shot, but Smart gave the Joe the Goose over to LRT.
Again, Sydney's ability to win crucial contests through the middle of the ground. Luke Parker's effort over here by the boundary line was just fantastic. Kept the ball in, eventually won it and got it out, and that way Sydney were able to transfer the ball down the ground fast into an open forward line.
Beautiful clearance by Hanbury. They go inside 50 again. Roberts-Thompson the target. He's already kicked two. Has never kicked a goal against the Pies before. Almost had his third there. Handballs back to Kennedy from the standing start. Good position here. Bird did well, O'Brien.
It's a good story, Lewis Roberts-Thompson. Probably played his first 150 games in defence, but turned himself into a bit of a makeshift forward this year. He's up to 18 goals now. He's goal a game, and he gives a really good contest.
Boys, sorry to jump in there, but Dale Thomas has been subbed out. Alan Didak, of course, is the man who's been subbed on, but Thomas has just put the red vest on.
Big call, that one, isn't it? Massive moment in this game now to lose Dale Thomas.
Gives Didak an opportunity early, though. Maybe
It's a great like-for-like replacement, isn't it, with the magic and the skill there.
So Didak in. There's the vest on Thomas. Doc Larkins, what do you reckon this is going to mean in weeks for Thomas?
Oh, look, I think they're getting ready for next week, Brian. They'll take him down, get him into the ice compression sleeve and start his rehab as of now.
OK, so the sub is on and Didak is out there.
He'll just have ice strapped to that leg for the next 3 or 4 days. Dale Thomas.
The sub being announced on the public address system here.
The only positive is that you get game time into Alan Didak.
Absolutely, and he does need that. This is his last crack at senior footy this year. He's really got it to put it together over the next couple of weeks if he wants to be involved in this finals campaign. Just build a little bit week by week. Kennedy deep into attack. Marty Clark is beautiful left foot kick around the corner to side bottom.
And you can see the run and spread. This is where Collingwood are dangerous when they get the outside runners. Sinclair's worked hard to get hold of this one.
Didak presents short. He ignores that and goes to Tarrant. Kick wasn't great, and in the end Richards did enough to get it over the line.
Mick Moldhouse talked about Collingwood's spread before the game in the pre-game show in his regular segment. He hasn't got much wrong this year, Mick. He's been pretty good.
Minute with Mick. He loves doing it. A master tactician that he is. For Solo. Attacking the ball. Richards, don't argue. Just bullies his way through the middle. Long ball. Ross Thompson did well. Reid over the back. And the free will go Collingwood's way.
Yeah, lucky there, Roberts Thompson. It was a legging decision. It was probably there, but I love the way he's so disciplined, Roberts Thompson, and he just did everything he could to bring that footy to ground, and was unlucky not to have an opportunity there for Dennis Lane to score.
No score for the Pies in 25 minutes of footy here. Been all Sydney, kicked both goals in the quarter, and short ball to Tarrant. 75 metres from their goal. It's just chip, very little fluency. Kick over the head, looking for Wellingham. Goods did well with the spoil. Off hands, Tuvey. Shaw barges through. That's Reece Shaw. And we'll be happy to find the boundary here. Let's go down to Dr. Peter Larkins on Darren Jolly. Don't tell me there's another one, Doc.
Well, there's concerns with Darren Jolly. First minute of this quarter, Brian, the physios went out to him. He's now sitting. They just had a word with the doc, and they're planning some special treatment at half-time for him, I gather.
Hey, Doc, I saw him get smashed from behind. Mumford crashed the pack, and he got up slowly. He looked at the trainer and shook his head. He ran around for a while, and you're all over it, Doc. He has got some issues, definitely.
Special treatment, I think, means in layman's terms a jab.
Some sort of pain relief, you would think, Bristle.
I would have thought the instant pain relief is the way to go. We haven't got time for the Codral to work, Das, in a game of footy. Players converge, so the injury's mounting up, and Maxwell's not good there either.
They're two crucial ones, because once your sub's gone, Didak's in. If they lost Jolly out of the game, I reckon it's game over, to be perfectly honest with you. Yeah, I just don't think they can compete. It forced Dawes into the ruck, it exposes their forward line, and let's hope Jolly can get through the game, because that'll be hard to recover from there.
Now, the umpire down the field has paid the tunnelling kick here. It was a late decision for Reid. He felt he got the legs taken from under him. Probably the correct decision, not having seen it on replay just yet, but I think the umpire's pretty right there, Rosebery.
Gee, both teams have been good at stopping that switch tonight. Teams love to switch it to the other side and try and get a runner, but they've just been shut down every time. Both teams have.
Nathan Brown goes out wide looking for Elliott.
You can really see as Darren Jolly stands up, and that's great news for the game's sake and for Collingwood's sake as well. He's a real warrior, that man. Great competitor, and he'll fight out with every last breath that he's got. But you just see the two contrasts in style. Sydney really trying to slow it down. They love this contested situation. The Pies are trying to really run hard and spread hard.
Didak with a little soccer off the ground. Wellingham, little right foot banana inside out. Did well here. Teddy Richards has done well. Look at Bird put his head over the ball and just go and get it. It was good stuff.
Gee, that was a good pick-up.
Jetta in front of Tuvey. Sure, he got around him as well. Brilliant stuff from Jetta. What a great kick as well, to the advantage here of McVeigh. McVeigh in the pocket. The right foot banana along the ground. Hit the stump of the post.
That individual effort back there from Lewis Jetta, Richo. You just pay your admittance fee. Look at that smashing. And he's about 115 kilos, Mumford. You feel every bit of that.
He's already taken Daisy out of the game, and the big mummy, if he hits you, you're going to stay hit.
Wellingham.
How are those two bits of play? Bird's pick up and Jetta's ability just to take the play on at the wing. Nearly got that goal down the other end from McVeigh.
Solo, Pendlebury, side bottom, all playing nicely together. Now Seedsman with a withering outside run onto Didak on his favoured left side. Got it in a good position to Jolly, a little heavy on the kick, but it was nicely done, and a minor score there, first for some time.
Got involved. Didak had a couple of touches already. Be good for his confidence.
There's Scotty Pendlebury on screen there. He's just had the 7 disposals, and they're going to need an enormous game from now on from Pendlebury. Thomas is out. Dane Swan, we know, is going to miss 2 weeks. So a lot of the load goes to Pendlebury. He just hasn't been able to have his normal impact so far in this game.
Reid comes to meet the ball and sends it forward bound again this time. A couple of calling players. One of those is Elliott. Able to pick it up, gives it to Pendlebury around the body. Again, Richards in front. Plenty of numbers here for Sydney. Grundy, nicely done. Sydney out of defence. Hanbury, beautiful kick to O'Keefe. Magnificent foot past that. These little blonde guys that play for Sydney do that so well. Bit of a whack in the cheek there for Brown, and that may well be a free kick against. It is. That silly one.
That's stupidity from Shaw. Had nothing to gain. Look at Nathan Buckley's face. It's just poor discipline.
So Roberts-Thompson goes deep, getting a run at it. Couldn't quite get hold of it over the back. On that occasion, Parker. And Dennis Lane sees it through. A little bit of a whack here for Nathan Brown.
You love the enthusiasm of Shaw. He just wants to be involved in everything, but he had to know that was going to be a free kick.
I think he saw LRT's boot sort of go onto Brown's stomach there, and he came in to remonstrate, but the umpire was right there, and it was just silly.
Malcheski off his hand. So Sydney have a golden opportunity now with the injury situation here to capitalise on that. Just see the accidental foot, Roberts-Thompson there. I didn't think there was much in that.
Nothing in it, but Heath Shaw probably thought that, that there was, and came in to try and help his teammate, but cost a free kick.
Side bottom. Blair attacks this and got it with a bit of space. He wanted run and support from Wellingham. He came a little late, and in the end, the kick was over-creative. Now Richards on the counter-attack. Hanbury demands the ball and gets it, albeit at his feet. Now the centering kick. Maxwell.
Well played.
Charging run, but he did not take the ball with him. This leads O'Keefe. Gives it off to Matner. Reid gets in the way of it at half-back.
It's got a tweak. Gareth Olver thinks the Swans are missing Sam Reid. He reckons their forward structure is out of whack.
Yeah, I agree with him, Rich. I think he probably would have matched up on his brother at certain stages, and when Collingwood have got on top, it has been their ability to win at half-back. Maxwell, Reid, and it's been Pike and Lewis Roberts-Thompson, not that real class and contested mark that Sam Reid provides.
Off hands, Kennedy, magnificent in roving the pack. O'Keefe, beautiful little kept in play action onto Jack, and now McVeigh to the advantage of Jetta. O'Brien did well.
Yeah, did really well. It's going to be a tough night inside 50 for both teams. Only 3 marks inside 50 for each team so far tonight, and we're not far away from half-time, and both defences are on top. You're going to have to find other ways to score goals, like stoppages, like this one here.
Jolly didn't take the ball. Beams, Kennedy, now O'Brien took him on. Must get rid of it successfully if you take him on, and he did. Blair with a little shimmy, a double shimmy, didn't make contact with a boot. Great tackle, Jack. From all reports, would be leading their best and fairest this year. This man, Jack, goes across the ground. Goods Had it knocked away for Solo. Had to go and get it. Boy, I reckon he dropped that. He did. Kennedy will get an opportunity.
The forward pressure for Sydney in this last patch has been fantastic, and it was the period that got Collingwood in the game as well when they kept it in their forward half. But it was a dangerous kick because if they were able to win this Collingwood, they were out the other way from half back. But brilliant tackle from Kennedy.
Couldn't take a mark, but good forward pressure gets Josh Kennedy a shot at goal. That's obviously another way to score.
Looking for their third consecutive goal of the quarter. It is from directly in front. Kennedy just sends it in magnificently. Sydney by 9 points.
But all the Swans in this second quarter, they were trailing at quarter time and just been able to get on top in a lot of areas. We're talking about their forward 50 pressure. And that has gone to another level so far at the start of the second quarter. And Josh Kennedy, what a gun he is. Kicks goals, the #1 clearance player in the competition.
Well, there's probably the Swans' best and fairest. Look at the Swans' forward line there. They've got Mike Pike deep, but LRT just came back on. Probably not really recognised strong power forwards there. They're just there to give a contest and bring it to ground.
So Sydney, little mini run here. McGlynn over the back, Goods. He'll get it and give himself a chance with Clark pressuring. Didn't go for home. Great centering ball. Dennis Lane. Gee, that was a good mark by Nathan Brown.
Yeah, so that's where Mike Pike, as a key forward, your job is obviously to take marks, but if you can't take a mark, you cannot be outmarked by the defender. You must bring it to ground for your small forwards.
Swans out to their biggest lead here at the moment at 9 points. The Pies led by as much as 12 in the first quarter. Here's Didak with another touch. In fact, ball almost went out of bounds. Part of it did, but all of the ball must be out of play. Now Jolly, centering ball without a lot of thought. Tarrant's got to come over the top. Very nearly grabbed it. Handball to Clove. Clove and Malcheski did really well. Now Hanbury. Smith is there. Had to get rid of it in the end. Help arise for the Pies, but look at the red and white jumpers around this. Hanbury was fierce at the ball. Little kick by Beams. I think it's a goal. It is.
Oh, what a gun. Dane Beams, most improved player in the competition for mine, and there's been plenty this year, but he's the one that's really stood out. 18 disposals now, kicking a goal every single game that he plays in. 21 goals now for the season. 6 clearances tonight. He's just doing it all. 11 contested possessions. He's just got a really well-rounded game. The Pies would be wrapped with him.
Dane Beams scores this goal on the back of some brilliant forward run. He's so good at it. I watched him run from almost half back. He was out of breath, but he still got himself to the contest and rewarded with an important goal for the Pies just before half-time.
Jetta. Sneaky handball. Shaw's got this covered at the back with a punch off hands. Bird. Blair went hard. Dennis Lane. Handball. Parker. His man had run past it, or the handball was behind. Now Dawes did well at the ground level to keep it alive. Jolly stretching. Now in comes for Solo. Got it to Dawes from behind. Still had the strength to work it forward over the top of Elliott. Now they get back in some numbers here. Alex Johnson. Last line of defence. It's a 2-on-1 though. Side bottom went high. McVeigh splits them here at the moment. Side bottom and Pendlebury in the end. Pulled the kick at the last moment. Reckon he should have gone with it. Didak and Collingwood just momentarily out of trouble here at the moment. Side bottom just sends it long once again without great direction. Players collide. Picked up by Didak. Would this be a return? Would this be a return? Didak goals. Look at his teammates get around him. Welcome back, Alan Didak.
Oh, they've come from everywhere. Look at that. That is a great moment in this game. Substituted on Didak. It's his opportunity to try and get back into this side. I reckon 15 players have run the length of the ground. Brilliant sidestep. That's what's been his trademark, Richo, for a decade. Yeah. Kicks a ripping goal and his teammates are up and about.
Well, when you see his teammates come to him, they know that it's been a tough year for Alan Didak, but That's what he does best. He's got that low centre of gravity. He can get out of tight situations. He broke a tackle, then still had the ability to finish off, kicks the goal when he had pressure coming onto him. That's why he's been such a good player, and his teammates love having him out there.
Tweet through from Buddy Franklin. He wants to know who is faster, Cyril Rioli or that man on screen before, Lewis Jetta.
Oh, gee.
Well, I want an answer out of you two.
Let's get a promoter and we'll organise it.
Be a good match race.
I reckon Buddy would be able to organise a promoter and organise anything, Buddy.
Dawes. Got it all covered, you reckon, Richo? Big
got
mummy.
everything covered.
Trips over his own feet. Sinclair heard a yell out the back and handball at the end. No one home. Now Beams, high ball. Cloak's got the city. He should mark this. And he does. Deep in the pocket. It favours his left side.
Having an outstanding year, Heath Grundy as a defender, but Travis Cloak is just such a massive unit. We know he's got his issues form-wise, but I get the feeling he would just love some one-on-one opportunities on Grundy. I think he's got the strength to monster him tonight.
Now the wind sort of pushing away from the goals here, I think, although it may be protected underneath the stand at that end. So a difficult kick for Cloak.
But what does he do normally, Bristol? You're the goal-kicking man.
I'm not sure. I think he's a little left to right. But that one has just gone the other way a little.
Tough pocket there.
Really tough kick. Everything working against him. Well, who is quicker? It's surely Jetta. Is Jetta quicker, but Rioli's reflexes and sideways movement is...
I reckon over 100 I'd back Jetta. I reckon the first 40 I'd back Rioli. Hey, jump on board. We're interactive. We'll get a bit of a poll by the end of the night.
He's got a bit of a slither going, Cyril, hasn't he? He's very evasive. Sydney now under enormous pressure. Roberts Thompson, clever tap on. Hanbury, one hand, McGlynn not good enough. Roberts Thompson rammed into the turf by the Pies. Tackle from the skipper.
It's been a good end to this quarter by Collingwood. Living up to expectations this game. Everyone's been looking forward to it.
And this game is absolutely perfect training leading into finals time. You've got a really low scoring, highly defensive game, often like finals are. You almost have to invent goals. Scrappy goals out of contest is the way you get those crucial goals come final time. So both these teams will be loving this contest.
Special half-time guest, Sam Reid, coming up shortly. Pike. Blair was in there. No winner. O'Keefe just put his head down and tried to drive it out. Now Beams. A fierce give to Clark. Kept alive by side bottom Pike.
Now it's time to just put your hand up and say, apologise to Mike Pike.
No, just not yet, Das. We'll just wait.
He's the worst player in the history of the game.
See what he achieves. I'm not sure I said that, did I? Little handball to McGlynn. McGlynn sets up. Hanbury goes back. Left footer, remember. Dennis Lane caught. Clark's got him. Collingwood worry them out of it. Parker's gone as well in the Didac tackle.
That is outstanding. Nathan Buckley at half-time. You mentioned that. There was about 4 tackles in there. I thought that was a certain goal. I thought McGlynn was out. That was desperate by the Collingwood defenders.
Collingwood have kicked the last 2 of this quarter after Sydney kicked the first 3 of it.
If you look at teams that have had wins against other teams currently in the top 8, these 2 have had 5 each. They're the best in the comp if you look at it that way. The winner tonight will clearly be the best.
Roberts Thompson almost got it again. Maxwell did well to defend. Gee, Roberts Thompson's been dangerous down there. Now that is a deliberate out of bounds, says the umpire. And he's been pinged there. Said Maxwell had no other intention. Boy, if there hasn't been a focus on that from the umpires, I'll go he. In comes Reid over the top with a big thump. And a minor score will bring the Swans within 3 points. So just the 12 seconds remain here. You think that Sydney are the only ones that can possibly score from this situation, and it will need to be a mistake like that that does it. Wellingham tackled, he got rid of the handball. Now, is it deliberate? The umpire said no. For one moment, I thought he was going to say yes. To the relief of Buckley, no. And John Longmire about to head down to the rooms. As we expected this game, less than a goal in it. Team 1 versus Team 3 as it stands on the ladder at the moment. Siren sounds. And a very, very good contest indeed. Collingwood 5-4-34, leading Sydney 4-7-31 here at the moment. So a nice job by both sides, as we can see. The umpires just explaining to Mumford something there. Matthew Nichols very good at that. Cameron Ling's down there with Scott Pendlebury.
Well, Scotty, as expected, just a really hard, scrap, defensive game of footy.
Yeah, it is. It's really tight, contested. It's just going to come down to who's going to work harder for longer.
Are you expecting that in the second half it's going to continue in that way, or do you think it'll break open?
I hope it keeps going like that. It's great playing in that sort of footy.
Thanks for your time, mate.
Scott Pendlebury down there with Cameron Ling. Collingwood by 3 points here at the moment. A very exciting game indeed. It is very low scoring on the other side of the break. It'll be the Sydney Swans centre half forward. The man that's out injured, Sam Reid, will join Luke Darcy and Matthew Richardson. Stay with us as they head to the rooms. Collingwood 5-4-34, Sydney 4-7-31.